Pisces, and welcome to your June 2024 reading. Now we're on take 3 here. I've had a few technical issues, so hopefully, fingers crossed, this is going to go okay. So let's begin by getting 3 cards for you to give us the general theme, the general energy of your reading. So let us begin. We have the 3 of Cups, we have the Queen of Cups, and we have the Death card. So, the Queen of Cups, I'm starting on her actually, I don't know why. The Queen of Cups, she is, she's very secure in her own inner world. She has mastered and she has learnt how to find balance and find peace within her emotions and within her inner life. She's sitting on her throne and she's looking at this beautiful cup that she's got in front of her, and it's more of a trophy than a cup, and so she's looking at this, and to me she's looking at all the hard work that she's put in to get to this really great place. It's like the reward, the cup, the trophy for all the hard work she's done, because the water around her is quite swirly, but yet she's sat on the edge of the beach. She's looking really contented and looking very, very closely at all this work that she's done. So I think this is the energy for you over this reading, Pisces. I think it's maybe to give yourself a little bit of recognition for all the hard work that you've put into yourself, or the work that you've put into the inner work, maybe the shadow work that you've been doing, the balancing of emotions that's been going on within you for the past few years. And we've got the 3 of Cups here, and this is celebration with friends, celebration with the people closest around you that know how hard you've worked, how far you've come. And we've got the Death card, which is a new beginning. So, you know, in the card, the king is dead, and it's a new start, a new beginning, a new dawn. They've got the dawn coming up in the background of this card. Excuse me. And so this speaks of a complete new beginning for you. And I think this is one of where you're coming from a more stable, a more calmer place generally. So let's have a few cards, and we will look a little bit closer at what's happening here. We've got some cards for your past energy, I think, first. So cards for Pisces, recent past energy. We've got the Moon card, and we have the Hanged Man. So that's quite apt, really. We've got the Moon card, which is the card of our shadow, of our fears, our deepest, darkest worries, the things that we are always, maybe, or not always, but we're not always prepared to look at. We don't want to look at, because it's the side of us, those negative emotions that maybe we don't want to look at because it's too painful, it's too difficult. And so this denotes to me that you've been beginning to look at your shadow side, the things that you have always perceived to be the bad side of you, those negative things that that you have concentrated on and focused on being bad. That I think you're beginning to look at things in a slightly different direction, from a slightly different direction. The Hanged Man, he's enlightened soul. He's been hanging upside down. He's very patient, and he's been looking at things from a slightly different perspective. And I think that's what you have learned to do over the last few years, in recent years. I'd say even up to the last 5 years, actually. Let's have a few clarifiers for this. And you've looked at things in a slightly different direction, from a different perspective, and you finally got yourself to that Queen of Cups place where you're really proud of yourself, because you can recognise actually now how far you've come. So let's have a few cards for our past energy. We have the 9 of Cups, and we have the Tower. So the 9 of Cups, he reminds me of, I always call him Mr. Smug. That just doesn't want to focus. He's sat there and he's surrounded by all these trophies, all these cups. They're all in a line, and he's really, really proud of them. And he's really contented with what he's done and how he's, you know, how he's been living and the things he's achieved. And I think that is you. And you're starting to see actually how far you've come, how much you've achieved, and I think the Tower card is here because it's more of a rather than a physical tower moment, it is more of a change of the way that you're thinking. I think something's come in and really just made you completely think in a different way and made you realise that actually, you know, you've come a real long way. You've come far, and now it's time for that new beginning. Because with any ending, or you know, that epiphany of life, then there's always the other side of that. You're on the other side of it, and there's a new beginning. So let's have 3 cards for our present energy, Pisces. Oops. Right, we've got the 8 of Swords and the Chariot, which is very funny because we had those in the last reading, along with the Queen of Cups and the Death card and the Moon card. And we have the 3 of Swords, Wands. So the 8 of Wands is fast movement. We've got all those wands in a line, and they're all moving at speed all at once, and it's, you know, really fast movement. And we've got the Chariot, which is also the card of forward momentum. And the man in the Chariot, he's obviously a bit of a warrior, and he's very enlightened. He's very in contact with his higher self, with his intuition, and he's within this structure, within these 4 posts as part of his chariot. And I think he is using his deeper intuition, his inner knowledge, to help him move forward into this place of safety, security, but also maybe of creating a new foundation, a new way of life, a new something that's got, you know, creating that solid foundation so that you've got a good base to work from. And I think this is, at the moment, this is our present energy. I think this is happening really quickly for you. This new foundation, this new, like a springboard for whatever's going to happen next. But it's rather than being built on sand, maybe it's being built on concrete, so that you're feeling really quite positive that this is a really good base. You've created this really good base for you to spring off on, move forward onto. And we've got the 3 of Wands, and he's there, he's looking off over the horizon. I think you are ready now to decide wherever it is that you want to go. Excuse me. You are ready. You feel in a place internally, a steady, secure place that you feel ready to move off from, and go on to the next phase, the next stage of your life, wherever that's going to take you. Let's have a few clarifiers. Okay. We have the 2 of Cups, and we have the Star card. So more stars. I feel, and there's a lot of blue actually in throughout this reading. We've got the moon has got all the blue in, the Hangman's got his blue jumper on, the curtain behind him, the Queen of Cups, the curtain of the Chariot, and then we've got these 2 cards. We've got blue robes and blue sky. And I think that gives, looking at that colour, it actually just gives me that feeling of peace. And I think you are finding that inner peace, that inner stability, that calmness within your inner world, that balance of not living in your head so much, but actually being grounded to the earth, so that you're feeling a real sense of balance and security, of groundedness, of able to have a really good base and a good foundation. Because you see the star there, I don't know whether you can focus. I'm having problems with this focus today. That's one of my technical issues. But anyway, the star there, she has got her foot in the water and she's got her other leg on the ground. So she is in balance. She's not, you know, she's not completely in the water, which can represent your deeper emotions. And she's not just like solely grounded. She is really, she's got that balance nicely of using her intuition, her heart, and actually is balanced with her brain, her mind. She's using both tools to find to create this security, this stability, this good place, this good grounding place for her before she moves on. And I think that's what you're doing. And I think you've got we've got the Two of Cups there. I think you've got somebody else with you maybe on this journey that's there for love and support, that you connected with. And this, it might not be a life partner, a love partner. It could be you know, a parent. It could be somebody at work, a neighbour, somebody who's been really supportive and really showing you love and compassion, and helping you to create this security and helping you to move on to the next phase in your life. And I think this is what's going on at the moment. But there's this nice feeling of peace in this reading, and I think that's coming from your inner world. Oops, I've made a bit of a mess of that. Let's have another little shuffle. Okay, so some cards for your future energy. Let's see. Okay, we have the Four of Pentacles. We have the Five of Swords. So this talks of holding on too tight to something. The Four of Pentacles is sat there, he's got one foot on one pentacle, one on the other, he's holding on to another, and there's another on his head. And I think this is something that's maybe going to pop up in by the end of the month. Maybe you're going to start trying to cling on to something too tightly because it's a little bit scary moving on. You know, change can be really tough for some people, and it's not an easy thing to do. And so as when things are changing and we're moving onwards, it can be very easy to start to cling on to what we did have and our old life, rather than just trying to let go and to just surrender to it, to surrender to this natural movement forward in life that's happening, because you've put in the inner work. You have really come a long way in stabilizing your inner world. And I think letting go and surrendering to help you to move forward. I think that's a little bit of a message there for you. And we've got the Five of Swords, which is he's won the battle. He's holding on to all of the swords. His opponents are walking away, and he's got all the swords. Now, if we think of swords as being, you know, our mental, our thoughts are the things that are on our mind, and you know, are battling our mental our inner world. And I think that's what you've been doing. You've been having a real old battle on the inside, and it's been a real struggle. And I think you're going to learn surrender a little bit more. Let's find some clarifiers. But it's going to be, you know, it's not going to be an easy thing, because, you know, our minds, you know, are great at talking us out of things, of you know, can be very overly critical of ourselves. We've got Temperance there. So again, another card of finding balance of our inner and outer worlds. She's very in touch with her higher self. But she's also deeply connected to the earth. So she is really good at turning ideas and her inner inspirations into something tangible, into something physical. So let's have another couple of cards. Oops. We have, oh, I'm very bad at shuffling today. We have the 10 of Wands, and we have the Knight of Cups. So the 10 of Wands is maybe having a lot to deal with and carrying a heavy load. But this heavy load doesn't have to be something negative. It could be, you know, you carrying all of the things. He's carrying his harvest. He's carrying his harvest and he's taking it home. And it weighs a lot and he's struggling a little bit, but he's nearly home. And I think, you know, in this instance, this is you. You've got a lot of things that you've had going on. And I think you are just coming to the end of it. You're nearly there. You've got a lot to deal with, a lot to carry, and maybe you've got a lot going on in your home life, in your work life, or maybe it's just what's going on inside. You feel like you've got a lot of the weight of the world on your shoulders, but you're nearly there. You're nearly at the end. You're nearly home with it, and you're not going to have to carry it for much longer. Let's have a couple of clarifiers on that. We've got the Knight of Cups, and he's generally an action card. So he is on his white horse. He's got his cup in his hand, and he's moving forwards, which is what you're doing. He's going ever so gently. He's not, you know, not thundering onwards. He's taking baby steps in the right direction, and I think that's what you were doing. Let's have a couple of clarifiers for this 10 of Wands. The 7 of Cups and the Hermit. Right. So, just to bring all this together, we have, I think you're going to go into the end of this month. Things are starting to change. Things are starting to maybe feel like you're carrying this heavy weight, this heavy burden, and you're trying to cling on a little bit too hard to how things were, to how things used to be, or how you used to do things, or how things used to feel for you. And it's going to be a bit of a struggle, but you will be lightening your load very soon. But that involves you really being in contact with your intuition, letting your intuition guide you in the right direction towards, very slowly. Nothing's a rush in this immediate future, but you just got to keep that forward momentum from the Chariot. The Chariot's pushing you onwards at the moment, and then you've got to keep this momentum going yourself. It doesn't have to, you know, you just have to take baby steps in the right direction, but you're going to have to make some choices. In order for us to move forward, we need to make choices. Now, we've got the 7 of Cups there, and in each cup is something different. Some of the things could be bad, some of the things could be good, some could be not so good. Some, you know, when we think about bad, it depends what perspective you're looking at it from, doesn't it? One thing's bad for one person, it might not be for another. But the 7 of Cups is the message that we just need to make a choice. Any choice. If you've got a few options in front of you, pick one roll with it, because you know that will keep your forward momentum going, so that you can, you know, you can push forward, you can head in the right direction. You know, we need to change. We need things to change. If things stay the same and we don't make any choices and we don't jump any way, then things will just stay the same. And we don't want that, because we want life to be interesting, to be fun, to have new experiences, to learn stuff. You know, so this is urging you to maybe put down the heavy things. You don't have to carry them, you don't have to cling on to them, you can put them down, and then we can make some new choices to help us move in the right direction. And to do that, maybe focus a little bit or listen to your intuition. You know, if that involves, to do that, if you find that difficult, maybe try meditation, try getting on your yoga mat and getting into that place of peace on your yoga mat. Get outside in the garden. Do whatever, go for a walk, wherever you find that place of peace. Going for a walk always works for me. If I've got a decision to make and then my head's all fuzzy, I just grab the lead, grab Jason the dog, and take him out for a big long walk. And I always come back with the solution or an idea to something to push me forward. So I think that's what you've got to do. Is not be burdened by all of the stuff that you perceive that you've got on your mind. And we've got the Hermit card as our last card here, and he has been in his cave for a long old while. Hermits go in their cave, they meditate on life, they use all of the things that they've learnt in life, and then when they're ready, they'll come out of the cave and they'll come down the mountain and they'll share it with others. And I think that's what you need to do right now. You've spent a lot of time in that cave of yours and that inner world, focusing on what's going on the inside. And I think now it's your time to shine. It's your time to get out there, to get on with life and to connect with others and to do whatever it is that brings you joy, and just to focus on taking those baby steps and keeping that momentum going, so that you're going to be heading in the right direction. So let's have 3 cards that will give us some advice, some guidance and some clarification on what we've just spoke about. So for Pisces, some advice and guidance, please. One more. Okay, we have the 6 of Swords. We have the Emperor, which you actually had the last 2 times I've done the reading, and we have the Queen of Wands. Now, the 6 of the Swords speaks of moving into calmer waters, and you know, you can take that as the saying, moving into calmer waters goes, so moving from tricky situation into a better, more stable situation. Or you can look at that as being your emotions, you know, as we've spoke about, you have maybe struggled in the past with your inner world, these deep places within you that have maybe felt a little bit out of kilter. And so he's moving in his boat there with his family. He's leaving what he doesn't need behind him, any baggage that he doesn't leave behind him. And it's just him and his family, just what he needs to move on. And I think that's a good sort of symbol for you, for what you need to do, is you're moving into this place of inner calm, of more peace, where you have done the work, you've worked really hard on settling yourself, your inner world, and now it's time to move onwards, because you are the Emperor. You are embodying the energy of the Emperor. He's sat on his throne, he's wearing red, which is a strong, powerful colour of authority, and he is sat there being all powerful, being the leader, being just a really strong person. And I think this is what you are at the moment. You are this strong person who has the power to move themselves into the next phase of their life. You just need to embody his energy and realise that actually you can and you will. But you just need to focus on his energy. And we have the Queen of Wands here. She is not afraid. She's sat on her throne. She's got a cat here. She's not afraid to take action. She's confident. She's very self-assured. She knows exactly what she wants, and she's going to move towards it. And this is you. This is you. You're moving away from choppier waters into calmer waters. You have got that internal strength now going on, and it's radiating from you. And you are not afraid to take action, to move forward, whether that is with baby steps or, with purpose. But, any movement forward is good movement. So, Pisces, I hope that's been helpful. I hope that resonates with you on some level. I'd love to know if it does. Please like and, comment if that does. And if you want to hear more from me, press the subscribe button. That would be lovely. I'd love to connect with you again. And have a lovely day, have a lovely June, and I hope to connect with you next month.